Welcome to FX Street. If you like what we're talking about, please join us on YouTube on our channel by hitting the subscribe button. You'll get all the updates and the videos to the analysis that we do. If you like what Akash and I are talking about, you can follow him on Twitter at Mangeko0 and myself at JustAnalysis1. Taking a look at dun dun dun. I wish I had one of those hotkeys to do that sound. Shiba Inu, which again, Shiba Inu is one of those things who likes to just kind of go nutty, and it just goes nuts. I don't remember. I think it was Monday or one of these days. I was looking at that 1618 level as an area for it to kind of get stopped at. That's the 1618 extension of the first wave we were looking at. It went all the way up to the 200% extension beyond, but that's where it closed and then opened yesterday, and that closed right on 0.161. You know, is I have no idea where it's going. I mean, this is a I'll say that very, very simply, I mean, the Ichimoku system, I think, is a fantastic. Anybody who's a Shiba Inu army bull person, if you're watching these videos, I hope you're hopefully checking out the Ichimoku system, because if you were looking at areas where support would come in and all that jazz, you know, look at where the Tenkan-sen is at. That's where price bounced off of yesterday, bounced right off of that level. So from a support perspective, 58 and 49 are the next support levels for Shiba Inu to find if it moves down within the Ichimoku system. Below that, you get all the way down to single span B today, which is all the way down at 7. Then by next week, that threshold raises a little bit more to 11. I don't know if it'll come down to test that prior trend line or not, but yeah, we've talked about the consolidation range before, and what it has done. You know, before we've talked about it when it was at 35. You know, I was, you know, still looking at it coming down to retrace even lower, like probably to 21. Obviously didn't get that low. It's held the Tenkan-sen support pretty consistently throughout this entire rise. But I'd mentioned, and you did too, Akash, that you know, that move to 35, while extremely bullish at the time, did not really represent the upside potential based on this consolidated range that Shiba had. We have reached the kind of, if you're doing like GAN analysis and measuring price and time, we basically reached that 1-to-1 level. So it's almost like a perfect square as far as how high it went relative to the consolidation zone. It's hit that equilibrium. So does that mean it can't go higher? Absolutely not. We know that consolidation ranges, especially if they're long, the breakout is often equal or greater, but the length that Shiba Inu had relative to its lifetime likely means that it still has more room to go, probably 50% of this current breakout that it had at the beginning of October to its high that we had up here at 88. As somebody with a rational brain, I don't like mentioning that because it just seems still kind of like nutty, but it is in price discovery mode, so it can keep going higher. And as far as where that range would go, I mean, it's, thought I had it there, but 50% more of that range is roughly going to bring it, just kind of eyeballing it in that 125 zone is what I see. So 125 on the high end there, into the absolutely nutty kind of crazy up and up, but then short-term support sitting at 50 at 58 and 49. That does it for me on Shiba Inu. I'm not sure what you see, Akash.
I like how you keep giving disclaimers when talk about Shiba Inu. I like
Yeah, I can't help it.
All right. So the last time we discussed Shiba Inu was probably somewhere around here, and I expected it to. I was talking about how this wick down here already retested the levels around here, But since that happened, I expected Shiba Inu to not come down and then go higher. And as me and John discussed, it did that, right? I was expecting 261 and then the target at 328, but we kind of came very close to 261.8%, which is 914, but it did not extend to that level. Currently, there's an all-time high at 885. And right now, as you can see, the retracement seems to be holding above the 161 extension at 644. But so the thing with Shiba Inu and what confuses me is that Bitcoin drops, a lot of altcoins drop, right? But these meme coins are kind of, they go crazy. Like they don't follow the norm. So it's kind of really hard to predict where the correction is going to go. But for that reason, right, I'll just go with a very technical approach, which is, extending a fib to these levels. My bad. Right, so I'm expecting it to come down to at least 6 to fib. The first thing I'm looking at is a bounce off of the 50 fib here, which is extremely reasonable and possible. Like there's no doubt about it. That is 486 is where I'm looking for SHIB to retrace, which is from the current level, roughly a 30% downswing, right? But if this kind of fails, then I'm looking at this demand zone here, ranging from 327 to 411, which also happens to coincide with the optimal trade entry ranging from 389 to 252, right? So I think ideal point would be 70.5 fib because it coincides very closely with the top of this pennant. So yeah, I think you gotta expect it to come down to 50 fib here, but also keep it in the back of the mind, or maybe even place a couple of sting bids down here on these around these levels, 321 and 390. Right. As for the upside, I am still sticking with my insanely bullish target, which was 328% upswing, and we're almost there. So from all-time high, it was just a 40% upswing away. I remember how outlandish it sounded when I first predicted it, but I think it's
so
I think it's possible.
That's at 118, 119 up there. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so the 361 fib kind of comes very close to that. It's at 118, but the target from this bullish pennant is around 123. So SHIB is going to eat another zero.
Well, they're here at Shiba Inu people. Akash has the same drugs the rest of you take. And they seem to be working because those targets have been getting hit. So, right. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.